that will not yield. And when the blue and silver wave, you stand and cheer the brave.
Rah, rah, rah.
Win the game. With honor you will keep your fame. So down the field and gain Alliance victory.
Woo! What a resilient group we have, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Jesse, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Sports Flow with BKN Speaks. We are going to be recapping the Detroit Lions and Dub Bears victory. 31-26 over the Bears, Brian. What'd you think, my man?
Ooh, what a game, man. Lions come up big late, pull out the victory, 31-26. It was ugly for most of that game, but glad to pull it out. And I'm glad we're playing that song this week.
Yeah, man, it feels good hearing that song again. And, man, it was a tough 3 quarters to watch. Well, 4 quarters until the last 3 minutes, really. But, man, we found a way.
Yeah, it felt like we were struggling in every aspect for most of that game. Found a way to pull it out. Old Lions would have been on the other side of that, so it was good to see us actually pull out a win there.
Yeah, it really was. But let's start with the obvious. I've been talking about this in the podcast. You've mentioned it. We're having trouble with stopping mobile QBs. It's an issue.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar tore us up, and Fields was kind of doing the same this weekend.
Yeah, he was grooving.
We got to figure out a solution to this. I don't know if getting Houston back here in a couple weeks might help. Gardner Johnson back in the secondary will be big too. But man, it's becoming problematic because we're going to see those type of guys down the line. And Philly, one of our main competitors here in the NFC, Jalen Hurts is no slouch with throwing the ball.
No, he's just as mobile as they come. He can do it with his arm and his legs. And so far, since we've played guys who can do that, we don't fare so well. So we got to figure it out, and hopefully we do so. And like you mentioned, getting some of those key pieces back, I think will really help us. Playing these elite mobile quarterbacks like that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, getting Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back will be just massive.
Huge.
He's the best player we have in the secondary. And then, we might get Emmanuel Mosley back, that corner as well.
Yeah.
That would be a big addition in the secondary. And James Houston, the defensive difference maker on that other side of Hutch. All of a sudden you get a pass rush on both sides where we've really kind of struggled this year.
Yeah, I mean, Houston reminds me of, I know this is high praise, but Von Miller with his abilities on the outside.
Yeah, like a poor man's Von.
Yeah, well, he might not be poor when he comes back, but no, probably. But getting him on the other side with Hutch would be a lethal combination. So I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later.
Yeah, me too. I think they're really weathering the storm right now, just trying to get healthy. You can tell the defense has been struggling the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
The offense has been good enough to pull them out of it. But when it came down to it, at the end of this game, I mean, they came up with the stop slate that we needed in order to put our offense in a spot to win that game.
Yep.
Absolutely massive performance from the defense there at the end of the game.
Yeah, no, it was, much needed at the end of the game, and I wasn't sure that we were going to be able to do it with how we played throughout the game. Let's touch on that a little bit later. Let's keep going with the struggles here. Offensively, we haven't really been struggling that much this year, and then Goff played like hot garbage this game for damn near the whole game besides the last 3 minutes when he caught fire.
Yeah, it was ugly to watch in every way, shape, and form. The 3 picks and then the Reynolds fumble.
Yeah.
We can get into the picks. I mean, like the first one, I thought it should have been a call on the other side. They knocked Sam Laporta off that slant route, and that's the reason that Goff threw it straight to the defender. I'm not sure why there wasn't a call there. And then I know another one of Goff's picks was
tipped down the middle. And I agree with you that should have been a flag. But as we know, as Detroit fans,
don't happen often.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. But we fought through the adversity. And then, obviously, like you said, the other one got tipped over the middle. And then that third one, I don't know who the fuck he was throwing.
Yeah, it was
a Twilight Zone moment.
Yeah, very much a question mark on that throw.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a wrong read with the receiver, but it didn't seem like anybody was there in the area.
Yeah, but on the on the good, run game looked solid again with our two-headed monster.
Continue to be dominant with Jahmyr Gibbs there and David Montgomery. It was good to see David Montgomery get some revenge against his former team that didn't want to fork up the money
Oh yeah, it was.
to pay him in free agency. I mean, he had a great game. And Gibbs being that 1-2 punch with the explosion and his big play capabilities, I mean, this thing continues to be one of the best rushing attacks in the entire league.
Yeah, Montgomery getting the go-ahead touchdown for the W against his former team was pretty sweet, to say the least. He had 12 carries, 76 yards, that go-ahead TD, like I already mentioned. 2 huge receptions at the end of the game to get us down there for 22 yards. And then Gibbs, doing his thing. He's produced 95-plus scrimmage yards and a TD for 4 straight games now, man.
Yeah,
Just coming on.
Just becoming a weapon in this offense that we really needed. I think that everybody has been silenced. The doubters have been silenced about Jahmyr Gibbs. Why did we pick him 12th overall? Well, this is why. I mean, the guy is a bona fide superstar in the league, and we've had him for a long period of time. This is going to be outstanding to watch going forward.
Yeah, it sure is. And then, we got the model of consistency with St. Brown had another huge game.
Every week.
And, and then the play that turned this all around is him telling J-Mo before J-Mo makes the big catch, hey, you're going to be open. Brown fucking read the defense, read the coverage. He said, you're either going to be open short or you're going to be open deep. Well, he was open short. Brown called it. He said he was going to score, and J-Mo got that TD. And J-Mo said on the sideline, not anyone was nervous after he scored that TD. That propelled them to the W, my man.
Yeah, it was a massive play for us. And you talk about St. Brown's knowledge, being able to read the defense, know what's going on out there right out of the gates. But this is why Jameson Williams was picked where we picked him.
Damn right.
I mean, this guy is a game breaker who can, make those big plays. We've lacked that for a long period of time here. And his catch, getting that touchdown catch at that point in that game, completely swung everything like you mentioned. And it put us right back in it with time remaining because it was one of those large receptions. And, only upward movement here for Jameson Williams in this offense.
Yeah, and he had another great catch over the middle, too. It's timing. As MCDC said, he's part of the squad, baby. He's buying in. He's doing all the extra things at practice. And he wasn't out celebrating at the club after the game either. He was giving out turkeys to the community. He's doing all the right things.
Yeah, checking off every box.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sounding like everybody's getting really comfortable with him being in the offense. Like we mentioned earlier in the podcast, the guy hasn't had a ton of practice reps with the team. He's finally getting those practice reps, getting everything zeroed in, and you can see it on the field.
Yeah, you sure can. It's paying dividends, and it's just so sweet that, it's come to fruition, just like, Gibbs took a little bit for J-Mo, and they're both starting to produce at the perfect time.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it looks as we continue to move forward in the season, because it seems to be like a wheel where they just continue to roll, and they're just getting faster, and picking up this offense, which was already good before they were really rolling.
Yeah, no, it sure was. And now we're just rolling that much more, and we're fighting the adversity. And, the Lions, we're in kind of uncharted territory here. First time that we're 8-2 since 1962, when JFK was still our president. And we've won 7 straight divisional games for the first time since the AFL-NFL merger in 1970. I mean, this is just some crazy shit for Lions fans.
Insane. Like, this is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And we've been waiting on it. It's been a long time coming. If you're not excited about the Lions, you should be getting excited about the Lions. This type of success, we don't see a lot. I think tying back a little bit to the offense there, too.
Yeah.
Jared Goff came up with the plays late that we did need him to make.
He did.
it was a struggle all game long, and then the guy just started to click at the
He
end.
balled at the end, man.
Hit that pass to JMO, and then that last drive, they just marched right down the field.
Yeah, it was just some great play calling by Ben Johnson too, and obviously, when him and Goff are clicking on the same page, special things happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's been that way since Ben Johnson has really taken over the play calling. Those guys have been attached at the hip, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. Positive side on the injury front when we're talking about the offense.
Yeah.
Jonah Jackson, our starting left guard, should be back this week. That will be big to get that unit as a whole. Jonah Jackson's a Pro Bowler adding to this already very strong offensive line. You got to think the run game will just continue to get better.
Yeah, I mean, being at home again, Thanksgiving, we're looking for our first, Thanksgiving game win since it's been a while now.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, 2016. So I think we're going to try to dominate in the trenches, pound it with our two-headed monsters with Montgomery and Gibbs, and just run it down the Packers' fucking throats.
I mean, that's been our game plan all year.
Yeah.
It's who we are as a team, and we can run it on just about everybody. We run to set up the play-action pass, the short passing game, and, I would imagine that's exactly how we're going to attack Green Bay this weekend or this Thursday.
Yeah, this Thursday. I'll actually be at that game cheering with the fans, baby. I'm pumped, so I'm pretty excited to get there. I'm hoping Hutch punts another one in the end zone for a W, man. That cherry on top was sweet for him, man.
Michigan on Ohio State crime.
Oh, baby.
In the big week. Ooh, you got to love it.
Dude, it's just a great weekend to be a great week to be a Lions Michigan fan. It's super exciting, and how do you see this one unfolding against the Packers, BK?
I think it's going to be somewhat close for a little bit. I think the running attack for the Lions is going to start to control this thing. I don't think Green Bay has enough defensively in order to keep it into wraps the entire time. I think the defense will kind of come to life there with the crowd, and it's probably going to be too much for Jordan Love, their first-year starting quarterback on the road. I think we're going to pull it out 28-17. Another side of that I really do think is going to play a factor as well is Aaron Jones, the starting running back for the Green Bay Packers.
Huge loss.
It is doubtful for them. So a banged-up Packers team coming in on a short week, 28-17, Detroit.
All right, 28-17. I like the prediction. You made a lot of good points there. I also think, the Lions are going to finally get that Thanksgiving game win against the Packers. I think it's going to be a little bit closer. Love has really turned it on the past 3 weeks. He's starting to find his stride a little bit. Now losing Jones, like you said, with that MCL injury, that is a huge loss. But it's a national televised game. Everyone's, going to be pumped up for this. They know everyone's watching. It's Thanksgiving. I'm going to give the Packers, I believe they scored 23 last time. I'll give them 3 more points, 35-26 Lions. I think
scoring.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a ground and pound. I think we're going to do great things in the run game, but I think we're going to have some flash to some big playability too. JMO's getting going. St. Brown's going to continue doing his thing. And one guy that we haven't given props yet in this episode, Laporta on that 2-point conversion. So to keep it a 3-point game. I mean, that was huge. So I think it's going to be 35-26, and I think the Lions are going to take care of business and go 9-2, baby.
Love it. I mean, let's just keep this ball rolling. Let's try to get this 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah,
it's within reach.
Damn you, Mahomes.
When we're talking about the lines, the Vegas lines for this week, we got Detroit 7.5-point favorites. Both of you and I do have them covering that mark. And then the over-under is set at 46.5. I got to feel like that number will probably be the over again, just the way Detroit is moving the ball offensively. Again, we do not condone gambling on this podcast, but that's just informational on our side of things.
Absolutely, man. Well, we hope you enjoyed another episode of Sports Flow with BK and Speaks. Go Lions and go Blue, and thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.